Most of the time when we talk about blood sugar, the goal is to keep it stable and to avoid spikes. And that's true. Chronic blood sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance, cause weight gain, and eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. But here's the twist. There are times where blood sugar spikes can actually be a good thing. Not all blood sugar spikes are bad. I'm Kate, a nutritionist who specializes in insulin resistance and blood sugar. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 times that blood sugar spikes can actually be healthy. But stick with me until the end because then we're going to cover some times it can be harmful. Okay, but let's start with the good news. Number 1 is during exercise. When you're working out, especially at a high intensity, your body needs quick fuel. Your muscles pull glucose from your bloodstream to power contractions. This means you might see a temporary rise in your blood sugar even if you didn't eat anything at all during exercise. And this is normal. It's your system making sure your muscles actually have the energy they need to perform. And the really cool thing about exercising is your muscles can actually take in glucose without insulin, which is why over time, exercise can actually help you to improve your insulin sensitivity and reverse insulin resistance. So even though you might see a temporary spike, your long-term blood sugar control is going to improve. The second time blood sugar spikes can be normal is after you finish a fast. When you break a fast, you'll often see a small rise in blood sugar, depending on what you eat. This is just your body transitioning from a fasted state back to a fed state. When we're fasted, that first thing we eat is absorbed rapidly. So blood sugar spikes at this time will be higher than if you're already in a fed state. Sometimes people panic when they see that number go up, but it's nothing to worry about. It doesn't mean you ruined your fast or that you did something wrong. It's simply part of the normal process of reintroducing food after a period without it. Now, there is a lot of nuance here. Obviously, you don't want to break your fast with a lot of high carbohydrate foods. Ideally, if you break your fast with low carb, high protein, high fat foods, you won't see much of a bump, but the bump here still could be higher than it would be at other times during the day. Number 3 is during heat and cold exposure. So we're talking things like sauna and cold plunges. When you put your body under this kind of stress for a short duration, your nervous system responds by releasing hormones like adrenaline. And adrenaline temporarily can raise blood sugar. This isn't harmful. It's actually your body mobilizing energy so you can adapt to the stress. Short spikes like this, from exposure to heat or cold, can actually make your body more resilient over time. Number 4 is when your body is fighting off an infection. When you're sick, your immune system needs energy to go into battle. Immune cells use glucose as fuel, so it's very common to see a blood sugar rise during illness. This can feel frustrating when you're trying to watch your numbers, when you're trying to bring your blood sugar down. But remember, it's your body prioritizing healing. A temporary rise here is a sign your immune system is mobilizing resources to fight off whatever's making you sick. So let your body do its thing. And number 5 is when you're exposed to acute stress. When you're in a high stress situation, maybe you're about to give a big presentation or you get startled, your body goes into fight or flight mode. And when this happens, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones raise blood sugar quickly to give you energy in case you need to act fast. Short bursts like this aren't harmful. It's only when stress becomes chronic that we start to see issues and that it can impact your blood sugar long term. Now, here's where context really matters. All the spikes I just described, exercise, after a fast, heat, cold, infection, or acute stress, are short-lived. They serve a purpose. The problem is when blood sugar spikes are happening all the time and primarily from our diet. If you're constantly eating processed carbs, sugary drinks, or snacks every couple of hours, that's when spikes become dangerous. Frequent diet-driven spikes keep your insulin elevated. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, and cardiovascular disease, and can also cause you to gain weight or have trouble losing it. So the message isn't that all spikes are bad. It's the wrong spikes happening too often that are harmful. So let's recap the 5 times the blood sugar spikes can actually be healthy. Number 1 is during exercise. Number 2 is after a fast. Number 3 is exposure to heat or cold. Number 4 is if your body is fighting an infection. And number 5 is short-term stress responses. The problem isn't occasional spikes. It's when they happen all the time from diet. That's what raises disease risk. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever exercised or went in a sauna and saw your blood sugar go up? Did this surprise you, or was this something you were aware of? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.